Speaking of, there is some great investigative journalism going on from the DCist. They are all over this case in Georgetown in which the Transformers have come out, as in like Bumblebee and like the action robots, and it's causing quite a stir with the local neighbors.
Yeah, Optimus Prime, you know, the literally like kind of life size. Apparently they weigh like 2 tons. This professor at Georgetown, he's in the neuroscience department, so you can kind of know where I'm going with this, was gifted these 2 life size statues, sculptures, whatever you want to call them, and has put them right out in front of his door. And the issue is that this neighborhood, this part of Prospect Street is like right near the university. They have like spectacular views of the Potomac. So it is a very wealthy part of Georgetown. I think most of Georgetown is, but this one block is kind of very special. And the neighbors are coming unstitched because the argument is, and DC is very complicated in property lines. I know I live in DC. It's very complicated. We've had some issues here, not because of Transformers, but it's not really clear. So he put these statues on the front. DC is saying that is DC property and needs to get a special permit, which he then applied for. We're looking at them right now. He applied for the special permit. The ANC, which is the neighborhood commission in his neighborhood, declined the permit the other night. And he is now going to take it to the next level because he's not removing them.
I love it. I love everything about this because it could be art, it could be freedom of speech, it could not be. And the neighbors, if you don't know anything about Georgetown, like there are neighbors who like won't allow restaurants to have tables outside because they might make noise sometimes. Like the people in Georgetown are able to cause a stir very easily, I would think. And that's what's going on here.
Kelly, do you know what type of permit? I know I'm like putting you on the spot. What type of permit he applied for? Like, is it the same thing as like Christmas decorations? I want to put a blow up snowman outside of my room.
Because house. The ANC is saying that it's public space. It's a public space permit.
Oh.
And so he went through the process in doing that, and an inspector from the city came by and said nope. And then the ANC also unanimously, you know what I'm saying?
They all agreed.
They all agreed that he was not going to get this permit. And he happens to have like a somewhat famous neighbor that lives like literally right next door that's saying it's like a safety hazard because people are driving by and stopping their cars. And also,
which is what we're going to do today, by the way. Go check this out.
1000%.
So that famous neighbor is Luke Russert, who is a television reporter. And he said, what's to stop someone from putting up a statue of Joseph Stalin, saying, well, this is provocative. It's art. It speaks to me. It's a nuisance. It's an eyesore. And they're distracting from the spirit of the neighborhood. I think a lot of us were perplexed how quickly it went up, lest anyone get any other ideas.
Yeah. So, I mean, you kind of love it. It's just like this professor who like has like a profound like interest. This is something that obviously in neuroscience, like this is like a little hobby for him. He says that kids are coming by and getting their photos taken. I mean, it's really cute.
Well, yeah, and if like they wouldn't make such a big deal about it, people wouldn't be then talking about it, and it would just be like the random robot statue that's up there. Yeah, the Luke Russert is that quote is very interesting to me because it kind of sounds like we're trying to keep Georgetown a family neighborhood. It makes me a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, and also Joseph Stalin, like what that's your provocative, historically awful image you want to conjure?
Yeah. He's pretty terrible, but like on the list of terrible humans on this planet or have lived on this planet.
Right. Right. It was like
top one.
Yeah. Of the possible evil people you could have said, like that was kind of a softball one. You could have gone more aggressive, I think, Luke Russert, if you wanted to be provocative.
Can we also admire though the amazing artist who made those sculptures? Like, those are incredible. Like I want to know who designed those. They look like they should be in a museum. They look real.
Well, so apparently he has 2 more inside his house.
Where would they fit?
Okay, look. I think this story is going national. There's no doubt. Especially being right in DC, and it's got great visuals. So this is not over. No. We are going to learn more. There might be a movie that comes out about this. I mean, this story is just getting started.
I would much rather spend my time covering this exhaustively than the Meghan and Harry thing because this affects our backyard. Gosh darn it. And
I'm with you, Tommy.
Yeah, like, you know what? And I hope that professor, if he's not allowed to put it in front of his house, he gets a crane and puts it on his damn roof. And he's like, great, now what? Thanks for playing.
Well, he could, because so it does face over the Potomac, these houses. They're the stacked ones. You can see them if you go over the Key Bridge, or if you're like going down GW Parkway, you could see them. He could put one out in his porch too. That way, like, more people could really enjoy it.
On the backside of that house, of those houses? Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so wait. So last question about this. So because the front of his house is public space, that means they can't do any type of decorations at all, ever. Or no?
So
or
apparently there were two planters that were out there, like that were like kind of attached to the house, like those cement planters that he removed. So his argument is like, well, those planters were attached to the house, and I own the house, and so this is just a replacement for that. They go out the same length. I mean, they're a little taller, but you know, it just he's arguing whether it's public space,
right?
Is what it boils down to.
I think it's awesome. And maybe how cool would it be if that little stretch of Georgetown on Prospect Street became this like place for all these random art sculptures? Like Luke Russert could have his Stalin statue, and this guy could have his Optimus Prime statue, and like everyone's happy. Then someone else like puts up a Gandhi statue, and like someone else like steals one of the big boy statues from like Woodbridge and puts that up, and it becomes a whole block of art.
Wouldn't that be something? Totally. I think there would have to be a little bit of turnover in the neighborhood for that to happen, but
you never know. You never know. It could be possible. And then all of the children of the land can come and see all the art. And they can then cut off the traffic and make it like a walking street. And then everybody wins and put a little streetery out there and a little food truck. And the next thing you know, everyone's having a great time.
Well, you do have some restaurants there. The Tombs and 1789 are there. And
totally.
You know, you have the college campus, which is kind of deserted these days. But, you know, Georgetown is right there.
Think of the local economy. Think of how much 1789 will benefit from people swinging by to go see the Transformer statues out in front. I will say, you know what this professor needs to do? And then I'm done, I promise. The professor needs to put some masks on the statues, because no one's removing things with masks these days.
Well, unless you're in Texas.
Right. Anywhere else, we're not. And Florida and Mississippi, but anywhere else, we're not removing masks. So I think that's his cure for at least the next couple months. Put a mask on the robots. No one's moving them then. You're welcome, Professor. Call me.